More episodes of this season to go before we crash into season 5 with an exciting new range of features. What will those features be? Who's to say? Me. That I'm to say, and I haven't really decided yet. Although there will be, sorry, I'm getting the camera sorted out. Should have got it sorted out before. But there will be guest paper reviewers in season 5. Who will these guest reviewers be? I haven't decided yet. A person in the room will be one of the guest reviewers. That will happen. Okay, episode 1 of season 5. Okay. In the great season premiere. Greetings, fellow reprobates, says Lincoln Meyer, and greetings to you. Today it's a 4-paper show. We've got the Sun, the Times, the Daily Mail, and the goddamn Telegraph. Sultan's Ping FC t-shirt feels extremely on brand, says Mark Knossis. Well, in fact, this was Person in the Room's t-shirt, but she has given it to me. It's got Sultan's Ping action on the back as well. I am a big fan of Sultans of Ping, and the lead singer from Sultans of Ping is now an academic at King's College, London. Right. Well, we're going to... What's that?
Best university in London.
The best university in London, says the not at all biased employee of KCL. Is that Gary Glitter as Rick? No, Farage's fuckface. It is... It is Rupert Murdoch, and I took quite a lot of time to go and cut out the sick from Rick and add it to Rupert Murdoch's face, which tells you what sort of things I get up to on the weekend. Right, we're going to start with the Sun because why not? Classic tabloid front page as Wayne Rooney is caught in a hotel room with women who are not Colleen Rooney. It was not Rebecca Vardy's hotel room. Wayne Rooney, hotel room booze up with 3 girls. He calls cops over pics of him sleeping. There is a suggestion that he was being blackmailed over these pictures, and he was half asleep. He's pictured asleep in some of them. And as you can see, or maybe you can't see, let me give you a close-up. Because it's from Snapchat, the girl's face is covered in the word cute. Siles Coren says Red Tick Seed. Mark Canosi says Wayne Rooney's jaw is amazing. He looks like the troll face. He absolutely does. Anyway, so Andy Jering writes, Wayne Rooney called the police after photos emerged of him in a hotel room with 3 scantily clad women. Women in tabloids, rarely ever anything but scantily clad. The former Manchester United ace. All football players are aces. 35. He's 35. For context, I'm 37. Was partied into the early hours with Snapchat model Taylor Ryan. Is that a job? And her pals, Elise Melvin and Brooke Morgan, all 21. He was seen passed out in a chair as the girls cavorted in their undies, always cavorting in the undies. Frighteous fuckface says all that pussy ages a man, especially really, really old pussy like Wayne Rooney used to favour. Chronotherm, if he's ace, then he's not having sex with those women. Slinkermeyer, yeah, very good. Slinkermeyer says Snapchat model is a fucking stretch. Yeah. Another photo which went viral yesterday saw him leaning on one blonde reveller at a nightclub. Leaning. That is the excuse he will have told Colleen. Mark Canosis, love the idea he was passed out and they just broke into his room without his knowledge. The other great, really great tabloid style writing trick here is passed out in a chair as the girls cavorted in their undies at their £60 a night room in Manchester. The implication being that if you're rich, it's an absolute affront for you to be in a hotel room that is worth so little. What can I say? The excuse was we just needed somewhere to cavort. On page 3, that isn't page 3, but is page 3, Lily adds 6 appeal. There's not much left to subtract from Love Island. Trainee accountant Lily Haynes' bikini. Jesus Christ. Slinkermeyer passed out my arse. Elsewhere on page 3, double Top Gun. Cruise takes up darts. Mission Impossible star Tom Cruise is another step nearer to becoming an honorary Brit by taking up darts. I don't fucking believe that, I tell you that. Right, on pages 4 and 5, Wayne's boozy all-night party in £60 hotel room. Girls danced in undies as Rue nodded off in chair. He calls cops over saucy online snaps. And once again, here we've got her with the word cute plastered all over her face. Snapchat model posts pic of her and ex-footballer. Did she talk to the Sun about this? I do not think so. Footage also circulated on social media showing her strut over to him before bending over his face. Yeah, the implication is that she farted in his face. It's a swift way to get pink eye. Rooney, married to Colleen, then made a swift exit from the Stay City complex after he eventually woke up yesterday morning. The pal continued. Wayne left straight away. He was very rough. There was just no hanging around. He got up and went. He texted a mate to ask him to pick him up, went downstairs and waited for the friend to pick him up, and then he left. Rooney has vowed not to quit as Derby manager, but demanded new signings before the season starts in 2 weeks. And then they list all the things he's been... things he's done in the past. 2017, he was driving Laura Simpson home when he was nicked for drink driving at 2 a.m. after a 10-hour booze session. In 2019, the then DC United player was arrested for being drunk in public when he set off a security door alarm at a US airport after a booze and sleeping pill mix left him disorientated. It has also let his booze-filled scandal to hit Derby County after star players Tom Lawrence and Mason Bennett, both 25, were convicted over a drink-drive smash. Mark Kenosis, the pink eye thing is a harmful myth that the face farting community have been trying to combat. Farage's fuck face, maybe Wayne and Colleen are poly. Maybe. I think it's... I just feel like that's not going to be the case. But who knows? Who am I to judge? I don't know. Letty Baskers, who convorts in their undies? Is this a thing? In all my 45 years, I've never known anyone who does this. Have I lived a sheltered life? Possibly. But then have you had any saucy online snaps? Possibly not even. Pac-Man Scratch Card says Tom Cruise going method for a lead role in the Jim Bowen biopic. I would watch that. On page 7, J-Lo-mance is on. More news about the return of Bennifer. That's Ben Affleck and Jennifer Aniston. On page 7, Glitter jail raid on PS4 abusers. 100 web games taken off lags. More than 100 PlayStations were seized from paedophiles at the jail where Gary Glitter is held. No implication that he's involved in this. It's feared that sick perverts were using the Sony gaming devices to trade abuse online and even to contact children on the outside. Feared, right? The very classic tabloid word that. It is feared. That means... we've no proof this has happened, but we're going to imply it has. Cons are banned from using the web in prison, but sources last night said a group of sex offenders had smuggled in tiny USB sticks to access the internet. The raid took place last week in a massive intelligence-led operation at the Verne prison near Portland, Dorset, home to pedo rocker Glitter. Officers went round the cells, removing every PlayStation, including PS4s, in the jail, which houses only sex offenders. A source said yesterday, the officers swept through the cells, taking every one. The devices will now be examined and any concerns passed to the police. The suggestion is that inmates may have been using the internet to trade inappropriate content. May have, see? And then, to top it off, the Sun gets a rabid Tory MP into comment. Tory MP Nigel Mills said, "This is a disgrace. It needs an urgent internal probe." I'd be worried about suggesting internal probes at a prison that houses only sex offenders, but there you go. As well as the police investigation. Bottom of the story, last line in the story, is understood Glitter was not involved. So this is a fucking bullshit story, isn't it? Because look, if you are a Sun reader, and it's unlikely that you've read right down the body copy, you just get Glitter jail raid on PS4 abusers, right? The implication being that he's involved in this, right? Which is the hook for the story. He's not involved. It's a meaningless story. Studying fangirl, glitter jail raid is my new favourite phrase. The mental image is chef's kiss. Yeah, well, Pac-Man Scratchcard says pedo rock, the most niche of genres, not really in the 70s. Rabid Tory MP, that narrows things down. Well, in this case, the Tory MP is Nigel Mills. Princess Diana's niece got married. She is 30 years old. Her name is Lady Kitty Spencer. Her father is 57. And her husband is 62. What possibly attracted her to the multi-millionaire Michael Lewis? Hard to say, isn't it? Chronotherm, if you're a Sun reader, it's unlikely you have the long-term memory to hold information from an earlier paragraph. Well, there is that too. SK the Crusader says, pedo rock is surely post-2010 metalcore. Jesus. Mark Kenosis, well, today I've learned you're allowed PS4s in prison now. Only used to be PS2s for this exact reason. They could stop them from going online. Mark Kenosis, now earworm myself with pedo as a nonce rocker to the tune of Sheena as a punk rocker. Well, you've earwormed the rest of us now as well. On pages 8 and 9, fresh hope for travellers, infections plummet, reprieve La France is the headline. Jesus. Farage's Fuckface, there's a new dating app for people with large age differences. It's called Gaper. Yes, I saw that. And it's apparently absolutely riven with security flaws. On page 11, as Battle with Dad hots up, Brit of an Eiffel. Yeah, Britney Spears posted a picture on her Instagram of her holding her boobs. This was days ago. I saw it on Instagram days ago, but of course it's in the Sun now. Douglas Murray, talking about massive tits, writes, no one's listening to you anymore, Boris. Yeah, fair enough. But look at you. How much... The most of the budget for Douglas Murray's column goes on photoshopping his byline picture. You might think that looks blurry, but no, that's just how much that they've smoothed out his face. SK Crusader with many Mike Gapes emotes in the chat. Letty Baskers says, oh, what's happened now? Slinker says, it's the teen girls having pillow fights in movie thing all over again. Pretty sure this is not a thing that happens in reality, but who knows? Well, it seems to happen in those pictures, but studying fangirl, woman has boobs, what a shock. Yeah, the Sun loves to tell her, loves an important story like that. On page 13, Tyke won dough, Britain's first medals, GB star Bradley got silver, Chelsea in bronze for judo. Of course, this is already out of date. There were other medal wins overnight. Mark Kenosis says, Douglas Murray, anti-Holocaust memorial activist. That's the one. Amazon pills sent in TV-sized package. A shopper was left shocked when a small pack of vitamins he ordered was delivered in a box the size of a TV. I mean, we've all heard those stories before. Here we go. A ridiculous sex survey from the Sun. We love a ridiculous Sun sex survey. I say love. Sun poll shows we've regained our freedom to have lots more sex. They talked to a couple. Ella Goddins, 21, and her fiance Andy Woolard, 35, mechanical engineer, regularly make love in their garden and believe outdoor sex is the key to a healthier and happier love life. Ella from Worthing, West Sussex says, during lockdown we were living at my parents' house and the chance for privacy was limited. That's when we started making love outdoors. Okay. 21 and 35 is an age gap, certainly. Stress of paying bills took his toll. Hairdresser Emerald Barwise, 31, real name, and her boyfriend Leon Hayworth, 30, a stock controller from Manchester, say their sex life suffered during the pandemic, but is now great again. How much would you have to be paid to talk about your sex life, including pictures of you, several of these people in your underwear, in the Sun? They don't have enough money. There's not enough money. I mean, I just... How much money would you have to be paid to talk about your sex life in the Sun?
I don't know,
$5
$5,000.
grand?
Yeah.
As low as that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll talk about my sex life to anyone.
Yes, it's true, actually.
I wrote a book about it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you did, in true. If you want to know more about that...
Actually, I got paid, about 500 quid to write about my sex life in the Times, so...
Okay, there you go. That's the figure. Dr. Festi said the Sun would have to promise to shut itself down. That would be my price. Studying fangirl, parents never look out of the window. Slinker the reason the box size don't always make sense is because they're decided by computers who are optimizing how vans are packed, not the size of the package. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's a dumb story, isn't it? It's one of these stories that they do regularly, and it makes no sense. Mark Canosis says that he would talk about his sex life, but they wouldn't publish it. Mark Canosis, again, on the parents of the people who are having sex outside. Parents deliberately turning a blind eye to them fucking in the garden, sighing and saying, youth. Yeah, they just come in covered, sodden with earth, going, what have you been outside? Oh, we're looking for badgers again. And the final couple they spoke to, Nicola Gunn, 31, and her partner, John Griffith, 47, a photographer and delivery driver, live in Greenock, Renfrewshire, with Nicole's 12-year-old son. Lockdown prompted the couple to be more imaginative in the bedroom and experiment with role play. Hairdresser Nicole said, we like to dress up sometimes. I might play the secretary and John will play the boss. Or he'll be a fireman and I need rescuing. Talk about the most fucking vanilla role play. Jesus Christ. Boring.
Dominatrix friend says the most common scenario she was asked for was HR.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. Super boring roleplay. These couples are the least, like, the most unfreaky freaks in the world. And Georgette Cully, the Sun's sexpert, imagine saying, what's your job? Oh, I'm their sexpert. And the Sun says, hooray, we finally got our mojo back. Fucking hell. And tomorrow, the Sun promises our guide to the ultimate threesome. So, yeah, we will be looking at the Sun tomorrow to see what basic shit. Certainly not. On page... Dr. Festi, roleplay with a D20, boring. SK Crusader, the D20, the ultimate sex dice. Dr. Festi, I mean, nice, good for them, but it's the fact that it's in the Sun gives it a coating of pond scum. Studying fangirl. Imagine being a 12-year-old reading about your mum's sex life in the Sun. I know, the therapy bills are not going to be covered by the fee they've got paid for this. Mark Canosis, the ultimate threesome. One partner always tells the truth, one always lies. You may only ask one question. Chronotherm says the ultimate threesome implies the final threesome for at least one participant. Oh, God. On page 17, people smuggle crime up 500%. That's the claim. I mean, a lot of this is all Home Office spin. On page 19, 9 dodgy teachers sacked per month. 9 teachers are being sacked from schools every month for serious misconduct, including sex with pupils and being drunk. Sex with pupils is a crime. Being drunk is misconduct. Let's combine the two, right? Dodgy, having sex with pupils is beyond dodgy, right? Dodgy. And also, it's not a huge number. They don't compare it with previous years. And also, it's 63 since January. A lot of disciplinary procedures have been backed up because of the pandemic. Yeah, it's sexual assault. Yeah, exactly. It's a sex crime. It's not dodgy. Dodgy is like when a plumber overcharges you for a repair. Studying Fangirl says the only good sexpert's a person in the room and Dr. Ruth. Nice. In the Bizarre column, Megan Fox has got a bum. Megan the Stallion has got legs. And Leanne Pinnock is pregnant. They talk about the story. The guy who built a Spitfire in his garden gets another story, right? Most of the page, right? The news that Noel Clarke faces further allegations of harassment and bullying by 20 women. Just a small column over the side there. Yeah, Frodge's face, fuck face has it right. Yeah, he's a bit dodgy. Yeah. Oh, how do you mean? Oh yeah, he fucks kids. Dodgy. Jeez. Anyway, moving on. Tribute to Esther days before fine. Missing Brit hiker Esther Dingley's partner paid her tribute days before bones thought to be heard were discovered. Dan Colgate held his wonderful girlfriend, 37, who vanished last November on a solo trek in the Pyrenees. It's a horrible story, that. Gravediggers are poised to strike over plans to make them work a graveyard shift. 6 are threatened to down spades after it suggested they graft 3 hours extra until 7 p.m. in the summer. The staff at Merthyr Dyfan Cemetery in Barry, South Wales, are consulting with the GMB union on strike dates next month. Guarantee you, if you look into the details of that, I haven't yet, but I guarantee you if we did, we would find that it's not as simple as that, but the Sun simplified it because they just wanted that headline. On page 25, thief caught out. Cricketers nick him. He hopes to get bail. Oh, Jesus, good headline, I suppose. On pages 26 and 27, it's a double-page spread on Dennis Nielsen for some reason. I woke up in bed with a man, and on the spur of the moment, I started to strangle him, is what Dennis Nielsen, murderer of 12 people, said in a banned TV interview. Serial killer's full chilling encounter revealed for the first time. Is this necessary? Do we need to know this? Is this necessary? Does this need a double-page spread in a newspaper? Probably not. Leslie Manville is going to be playing a central character in a new BBC... a new BBC Two drama with David Morrissey about the miners' strike. Baptiste gets a good review. Channel 4, awful show. I was bitten by a tick and it ruined my life. Lyme disease can leave you with a lifetime of crippling symptoms, all from this summer insect. This is well known, but of course, let's scare some more readers. Slinker Dennis Nielsen has been dead for 3 years. Yeah, Mark Kenosis, I love the gravediggers in Hamlet so much. They are good characters. Dennis Nielsen memorial coin, suggests Mark Kenosis. In this week's Dear Deirdre photo casebook, Diane's daughter heartbreak. Oh God. Who's written in? A woman who is terrified that her partner, her current partner will be violent towards her again. Please just get away from him and do not fucking write into the Sun for your answers. A man got a woman pregnant after 2 dates and is now panicking. Fucking get a grip, mate. My lover hides her friends from me. A guy says he's been with his girlfriend for 3 years, and she doesn't want to introduce him to her friends. And an ex wants to get back with a guy, but only if he will stop hanging out with his friend. Never agreed to that. That's bad. Yeah, Dr. Festi, agreed. That is a get out and get safe issue, not a let's ask the Sun what I should do issue. Yeah. Which is what the Sun says and gives the contact for Refuge's National Domestic Abuse Helpline. And the £50 letter today comes from Barry Johnston of Hornchurch in Essex, who says, Health Secretary Sajid Javid put his foot in it by tweeting that we should not cower from COVID. The man charged with protecting the NHS managed to offend the relatives and friends of those who've died from this virus, as well as anyone who's followed rules and isolated at home to halt the spread of COVID-19. He has since apologised, but with this gaffe, Javid showed he is perfect for Boris's cabinet of calamities. That was 100% written by a Sun journalist. Mark Kenosis. Also, how can he be her lover if he won't let him get with her friends? Have we learned nothing from the Spice Girls? Exactly, Mark. This is the kind of key advice we need. Right. Elsewhere in the paper, they're still trying to sell you that G-Tech hedge trimmer. In the sport, it's not won yet. Marrow wants to learn from history and finish the job for the Lions. Breaking Brad, Sinden chucks away gold, and Jones crashes out Bradley Sinden. And Jade Jones had a party planned to celebrate getting Team GB on track with a golden taekwondo double. Instead, even though Sinden's cloud of final frustration had a silver lining, felt more like a wake at the Makurari Messe Hall. Gore blimey, Leon can fill Pogba's shirt at United. Will Red Devils muscle in? They just wanted to have a picture of Leon Goretzka looking hench, and he does. Dr. Vesey says, scent coming from someone from Hornchurch. Sounds fake, but okay, I can say this because I grew up in Hornchurch. And on the back page of The Sun, Team GB so jaded, Jones and co toil. Team GB flopped on a Samba Sunday despite getting on the medals table. Yeah, but since then, loads of medals have been won. This is the problem with a newspaper that comes out long before most of the action happens. City hit by FFP rout. Manchester City are focused on a stunning double swoop for Harry Kane and Jack Grealish, despite more financial fair play allegations. As if financial fair play is ever applied properly. Right, so that was The Sun. Spent rather more time on that than we usually do, but there you go. a bit more solid analysis on it. Give me your scores for that. We will try to do a speed run through the Telegraph. Now, this will probably end with me being deeply frustrated as I attempt to manipulate the ridiculously large paper without the aid of a butler. But we'll have a go anyway. Slinkermeyer gives the Sun a double negative nice, a classic score for the Sun. Right, here we go. Let me get the Telegraph up and then we'll speed run this. Then it's the Times and the Daily Mail. I'm going to... Slinkermeyer, we just like watching you flail. Yeah, I do. It's really annoying. Mark Kanosis scores the Sun a minus 69 instances of the word cute superimposed by a Snapchat feature. And Reg Tixie gives it a triple negative nice. Dr. Vestian with the classic double negative nice. Right, here we go with the Daily Telegraph on a speed run. I'm going to try and do the Daily Telegraph in 3 minutes. Hey Google, set timer for 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. Starting now.
Right, front page of the Daily Telegraph. Nick Timothy, a man desperately aged by evil, says Tories need Boris to pick a strategy. Why? Top of the shop, Taekwondo and Judo stars spark Britain's Olympic charge. Main picture is Kitty Spencer, just before her marriage to an aged multimillionaire. Main story, unions fight virus testing plan to ease pandemic. My God, unions trying to protect their members, whatever next. Police will be judged on crime fighting effectiveness in new league table plan, because league tables always work well, don't they? Helpline for double jabbed, locked out of COVID passes, we'll see what happens with that. And Jane Schilling says, I don't go to art galleries to do my own doodles. Oh, I do. I just try and get in there, draw on all the arts. Brilliant. On page 3, Giles uses lessons of lockdown and Zoom to secure judo success and GB's first medal. BBC accused of giving Olympic spoilers. The BBC can't win with this. Aunt of medalist misses celebrations after NHS ping. Hugging on the podium is against the rules, winners are told. Oh, shut up. Travel freedom for double jabbed expats. Never remember, white people are never immigrants. A vaccine passport's now being considered for the workplace. We've been fobbed off by family doctors, say patients. Javid apologises after outcry at Coward from virus remark. As well he should. London hit by a month's rain in just 3 hours. That was pretty incredible. Bethan Hunt writes, Lady Kitty's lavish wedding embraces modern glam. Remember, it's never weird when posh people do it. Asylum cases of channel migrants soar amid crisis. More absolute bullshit from... And very twisted reporting. Wait for more on this when we get to the Times. Privacy law bans French from using drones. The French cannot deploy its squadron of drones to catch migrants before they cross the channel because of privacy laws. At least that's the spin the Telegraph are putting on it. Nice picture of a dog. Oh, God, hang on. Good dog picture. There, look, the good dog picture. Right. Curfew in Afghanistan amid rising fears of more Taliban atrocities. Tanzania does not want Mozambican people. US may force women to register for military. Putin, don't draft our daughters, warn opponents have moved to make 18 to 25-year-olds of either gender enlist. Putin boasts Russian Navy has weapons unrivaled in the world. Really? Strongman Aliyev must deliver era of democracy in Azerbaijan. Really? Nick Timothy, Boris must tell the Tories what he wants the government to be. He's got no fucking idea. Arlene Foster, yes, now a Telegraph columnist, says Brussels has its head in the sand over Northern Ireland. The deeply weird bow tie wearing Tim Stanley says vaccine passports are a step on the road to hell. In the features, the Olympic myth, why the games failed to get people fit. The ailment only Britons get on holiday. Why is it no summer break is complete without a trip to La Pharmacy, asks Fiona Gibson, because we don't prepare well enough. Can chatbots ease the anxiety and epidemic? Maybe, probably, who knows. Shane Watson writes about e-scooters, and finally, Lucy Burton returns to the office, risks stirring a rush for the exits. There you go. That's the Telegraph. Yeah, there you go. That's the Telegraph. Awful paper. Awful paper full of awful people. I missed, of course, the column where a fucking idiot said that there's no need for people to study ethics around AI and how that's just a waste of time.
We're very angry.
which made person in the room very angry. Dr. Festi says, the sound of Mick turning the pages of the Telegraph along with the noises of frustration remind me of trying to put a tent up in high winds. Similar to that. Morin Skell says, Nick Timothy, professional awareness vacuum. That's the one. Chronotherm, Kitty Spencer looks like she's trapped in the 18th century. That's because she is. Chronotherm, the road to hell is paved with Tory opinion columns. Bingo. Mark Cano says, the AI can do the ethics for you. You're just trying to cause issues there. We see what you're doing. Insert the Tom Hardy that's bait gif. Alright, give me your scores for the Telegraph if you want. I guess I did it at high speed, so who knows. But for me, it's a quadruple negative nice, as it always is for the Telegraph. Which is essentially just a fanzine for tweedy racists. Right, now we're on to the Times. Front page of the Times. The Times, the Lions' victory, analysis from Sam Warburton, Owen Slott and Stuart Barnes. Roll over Freud, the feel-good power of four legs. COVID cases fall as jabs turn the tide. This is opinion rather than fact. There's a whole load of reasons that the COVID cases may have fallen, including the end of the European Championships and the closure of schools, which doesn't mean that cases necessarily have gone down, but it does mean that the amount of testing, with schools doing a vast amount of testing, has gone down loads. So, Owen Slott is a porn name, says Chronotherm, agreed. Dr. Festi's rating for the Telegraph is a quadruple negative nice, same from Slinkermeyer, and a mere double negative nice from Red Tickseed. Elsewhere on the Times' front page, save women from rise in violent crime, police told. Imagine that they need to be told that. Right, inside the paper. Dr. Festi, putting Freud in a reference to dog worries me. Yes, Ian Austin may have been involved in the creation of that front page. Inside, Beatles filmmaker tells how Interpol got tapes back to where they once belonged. Tapes, the multi-track tapes were taken by a former Apple employee and made their way to the Netherlands, and they had to be found many years later. And without those tapes, the forthcoming Peter Jackson documentary would pretty much not been possible. Dr. Festi, yeah, that headline is, do your jobs, police told. Chronotherm, the police have to be told that because they are the ones committing the crimes. Bingo. Macho men raise the temperature. Long ago, fossil fuels were identified as driving climate change, but scientists have come up with another culprit, macho male stereotypes. Researchers have found that men's consumption habits make them emit more greenhouse gases than women. Differences involve cars and diet. Men spend more on fuel and meat. I don't have a car. So I eat a car's worth of steak every month in order to be considered manly enough. I don't. I'm not Jordan Peterson. I have a functioning intestinal system. On average, men are responsible for nearly 18% more greenhouse gas emissions than women, despite spending only about 2% more on their lifestyles. The report found that women were more likely to buy relatively low-emitting products, including healthcare and clothes. Men spent more on what the study termed items that were greenhouse gas intensive, with petrol being the biggest cause of the difference. No shit. And also, this is so fucking binary bullshit. K2 avalanche kills veteran climber. That's very sad. Taekwondo Olympian won't celebrate silver medal. Pathetic, because his coach said, it's first loser, which is some total bullshit dad shit. Red Tixie, do the 100 companies causing 70% of emissions count as men? Yeah, I mean, these stories are bullshit, aren't they? We know that personal responsibility is nothing compared to the responsibility of industry. But there you go. Slinkermeyer, like capitalism and the patriarchy are both responsible for global warming. Yeah. Right, now, I just wanted to talk specifically, the text of this story is bad enough, right? But which is French seek eyes in the sky over channel. But the caption on this photo of a young girl, a young refugee girl being grabbed by these border force officers at Dover reads, the caption reads, a nervous first step on British soil for a child migrant offered a helping hand by a border force officer at Dover yesterday. Look there. There's not one but two people grabbing onto her. She looks terrified. Helping hand, absolutely. This is propagandistic. And also, not simply a child, but a migrant child. Remember, this is not just a child. This is not a child like your child or my child. No, it is a migrant child. A very different kind of child, you see. Absolutely revolting. And this kind of stuff, right? This kind of phrasing happens all the time, right? And it's just totally accepted, and it's written, and when you bring it up, you're told, oh, you're being oversensitive. You're making too much of a big deal about this. It's just a simple sentence, but it's far from a simple sentence because it's about othering. It's about othering, and it's about making all this stuff. It fits in the same category as stuff like waves of migrants. It's all phrased in such a way to make you feel that. Hello, person in the room. To make you feel that there is that you must be afraid of these people, that they're different, right? Dr. Festi says they'd be up in fucking arms if their child was being handled by multiple armoured people bigger than they are, but okay if it happens to a migrant child. Exactly. And look at this. This is people, like, obviously, okay, so they've got masks because of COVID, right? But they're wearing stab vests. They've got, you can see the handcuffs, right? Horrible. Right, moving on. BBC tweets result before live event. I mean, just these things happen. But of course, the Times makes it a way to get at them. Also, something very white saviour about the caption, despite the obvious cognitive dissonance with the photo. Yeah, precisely. The Prime Minister's claiming he's going to stop unjabbed students from attending university, saying he's targeting refuseniks. But as very good tweet earlier said, lots of young people are not being able to go and get their jabs because they're stuck at work because everyone's getting pinged and these people are having to stay at work. The notion that there's a huge number of young people who don't want to get their jabs is not true. It's not borne out by statistics. It's not. They're facts. Right. They make a big deal of talking about Kate Shemirani, the just horrible, disgusting conspiracy theorist who talked about hanging nurses hanging. She's pictured, of course, with Piers Corbyn, a disgusting human, but of course, another way of doing guilt by association with his brother. They are very different people. H122 has to travel 70 miles to get their vaccine. Yeah, exactly. This is very common. Dr. Festi, I'm the only one who isn't surprised that we're having this pingdemic. That's what happens when you open up regular service in the middle of a third wave of a pandemic. Precisely. There is no pingdemic, right? The pingdemic is a phrase to suggest that none of these none of this contact tracing is right. It's just all echoes, right? It's real. There are cases. There are more cases because we're opening up stuff. More people are encountering each other. SK the Crusader, you are lucky you're back in place with 5 minutes walk away. Mine's only 15 minutes walk away in the food court of one of the local shopping malls, and it was really good. And I was glad I got it done. And yeah, I felt like a bit fluey after my second one, and a little bit tired, and my arm ached, and then it was fine. Keep your waders handy. It's summertime. Is the coverage of the storms basically overwhelming the thing? Is the food court also open? No, the food court has been converted to the vaccine area. It would be funny if it was still open. M&S promised to deliver clothes the same day. Yeah, imagine wanting them though. Meghan dress designer blames ex-boyfriend for missing millions. Ron Paul in the curious case of the return to the Bailey as the woman. Emily Mortimer, daughter of Sir John Mortimer, is writing new series of Ron Paul of the Bailey with a female lead. So that's interesting. Slinker Myers getting second jab on Sunday. Can't wait. Yeah, brilliant. Good to hear. Mark Otis would love to get KFC with my jab. Sadly, the KFC is in the newer, better shopping centre. Mark Otis is getting his second jab tomorrow. Fantastic. Last secret of pigeon that saved a battalion. For the past century, the pigeon Cher Ami has been fated for saving hundreds of soldiers and French in First World War trenches. The bird gained world renown in October 1918 when it delivered a message that led to the rescue of a battalion of US troops, despite suffering serious injuries, including the loss of a foot. The homing pigeon, bred in England, went on to become the subject of several books and films. When it died in June 1919, its body was preserved in the Smithsonian. Question of the bird's sex has remained a mystery among war historians, but a team from the Smithsonian extracted tissue from the stump of the pigeon's severed right leg to use DNA analysis and confirm that Cher Ami was a cock, not a hen. Right, there we go. Dr. Festi's getting their second jab on Monday. Brought it forward from 29th of August. Excellent. Ferocious fuck face. This female reboot of Ron Paul sounds like a shitpost. And yet it's happening. New invader threatens rainforest, British rainforests. Rhododendron apparently is not good for British forests. Yeah, I brought mine forward as well. Festival brings happy memories of normal life flooding back. It's Will Hodgkinson writing about Latitude. He gives it 4 stars. In the comments section, James Kirkup, Road to Net Zero be rocky but worth it is the claim. Trevor Phillips, this is one of the worst opening paragraphs of a column I've read in a very long time. Get ready. In Westminster, uneasy lies the head. The great talisman seems to be losing his magic touch. The troops patrolling the blue wall are twitchy. No one is ever sure which of Shakespeare's characters will emerge from behind the door at number 10. The sickly brooding Henry IV, the mature Prince Hal, the maturing Prince Hal, or the roistering braggart Sir John Falstaff. For its part, Labour is moving on from a miserable year with the hint of a new direction. The ship is being scraped clean of far-left barnacles. The captain is bringing back some old sea dogs to crew the journey back to sanity. It's just a multi-car pile-up of shit metaphors and analogies. Jesus. Emma Duncan writes about moving to the country and being annoyed about motorcycles. Libby Purvis says, how we tell Amy Winehouse's story matters. I'd say you stick out of it, Libby, to be honest. Today's birthday, Sumit Jagger, the Rolling Stones, is 78. Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, is 41. Kate Beckinsale, actress in Pearl Harbor, amongst others, Underworld film series, is 48. Lance Sargent, Johnson Bay Harry, VC, 42. Sandra Bullock, the actress, 57. Mark Downing, president of the Church Monument Society, 58. Nicholas Evans, the author of The Horse Whisperer, is 71. Susan George, the actress from films including Straw Dogs, is 71. Baroness Tanny Gray Thompson is 52. Nikki Henderson, the youngest skipper to take part in the Clipper Round the World Yacht Race, is 28. David Heyman, the film producer, is 60. John Howard, former Prime Minister of Australia until 2007, is 82. Christopher Kane, the fashion designer, is 39. Darlene Love, the singer, is 80. Professor James Lovelock, the scientist and originator of Gaia theory, is 102. Laurie McMenemy, the football manager for Southampton until 1985, is 85. Dame Helen Mirren, the actress, is 76. Baroness Sally Oppenheim Barnes, the former Conservative minister, is 91. Dame Anne Rafferty, the Chancellor of the University of Sheffield, Lady Justice of Appeal till 2020, is 71. Juliet Rylance, the actress, is 42. Sir John Sawyers, Chief of the Secret Intelligence Service until 2014, is 66. Jason Statham is 54. Paul Stein, Chief Technology Officer at Rolls-Royce, is 64. Stormzy, happy birthday to Stormzy, is 28. Roger Taylor, the drummer in Queen, is 72. Jeremy Thomas, the film producer known for The Last Emperor, which won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1988, is 72. Elizabeth Truss, aka Liz Truss, the Conservative MP for South West Norfolk, International Trade Secretary, Minister for Women and Equalities and Redacted, is 46. Olivia Williams, the actress from The Postman, 1997, is 53. On this day in 1908, the Federal Bureau of Investigation was formed by Attorney General Charles J. Bonaparte in Washington, D.C. Quote of the day comes from John Armstrong, the Scottish poet. Art of Preserving Health, 1744. Our greatest good and what we least can spare is hope. The last of all our evils, fear. SK the Crusader says, far left barnacle shirt coming soon. I want one. Just like Slinkermeyer says. Chronotherm, such car crash of metaphors. David Cronenberg's going to make a movie of it. Mark Knossis, Sophie Lewis's cat is called Barnacle. It's unbearably cute. Happy birthday to Helen Mirren. Love Helen Mirren, yes. Happy birthday Stormzy, of course. And Roger Taylor. Queen of Terrible, but his Nazis 1994 is amazing, says Mark Knossis. Red Tixie, the Postman, a.k.a. Post-Apocalyptic Pat. I love that. Macron pivots to the Pacific to counter Chinese expansion. Does he just? Biden to declare end of combat operations in Iraq, i.e. give up. Good, though. Cigarette blamed for French fire that cut electricity to Morocco. Vatican comes clean over property empire. Has it, though? I don't believe it's come clean. It's come clean about a bit of it. So tell me about your childhood. What I learnt from a therapy dog, says Andrew Billen. It's a cool dog. Inflation is higher than stated, says an economist. Selfridge is up for sale as Western seek £4 billion for it. Mark Littlewood, the awful Mark Littlewood of the IEA, says Boris should admit he knows what he wants, but not yet how to achieve it. You can go fuck yourself. Why is there a picture of a... Oh, he's written about Dungeons and Dragons. What does... If you type what is leveling up into a search engine, you will find clear information about the character progression in Dungeons & Dragons, a fantasy role-playing game in which wizards and warriors gain power as they go up a level. You will struggle to find a coherent definition of the government strategy. That's the kind of high-level research you can expect from the IEA. But what they won't let you research is who funds them. Right, in the obituaries, Jackie Mason, sad news, Jackie Mason has died. Jackie Mason was 93, the fast-talking comedian and former rabbi who took his feisty brand of stand-up from the Catskills to Broadway and the West End. He was pretty fucking funny. Doreen Pugh, devoted secretary to Winston Churchill, who spent 10 years working for the former Prime Minister and guarded his legacy, has died. She was 96. And Menelik Shabazz, pioneering filmmaker and campaigner whose documentaries chronicled the experience of being black in Britain, has died. He was 67, and he died of complications related to diabetes. Really shouldn't have people dying of diabetes in a country like the UK. Chronotherm says, did Mark Littlewood just read my piece in Byline and nothing else? Yeah, I suspect so. Apparently it's going to be a meteor shower tonight. They made there's a chart that you can hold up to say. And in the sports, Gatland's dig at desperate South Africa. Agony as GB Sinden is 8 seconds from gold. Well, you know, Olympic silver is pretty fucking good. Right. Give me your scores for the Times. I'm going to do the roll call, and then we are going to move on to the Daily Mail, our last paper of the day. By the way, if you did not get a chance to see it, I highly recommend SK's interview with Juliet Jakes about her most recent book of short stories. It's really good. Yeah, check that out. I'm sure it's a VOD. Hopefully, it's a good book, and yeah, it was a really good chat. Dr. Festi gives the Times double negative nice. Slinker gives the Times septuple negative nice, just for the fucking photo of the poor migrant child. Yeah. Okay, here we go with the roll call. I'm the Broken Bottle Boy. Follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Also on TikTok at Useless Conquest. Going to do some more TikToks. I have loads of ideas and then I just don't make them, but I should. In the multi-squad, SK the Crusader. As I was saying, some really good streams recently. Do check out the ones he's got on VOD, and of course follow him here if you're not already. And check out whatever streams and stuff he's got coming out this week. Not sure when the next video is out. In the chat, Academy Impossible, Achibis, Aritrak, Aiton, Barbadians, C122, H122, Clara Bow, 82, Commander Root, Domestic Ladio, Dr. Festi, Dr. Fayad, Faraj's Fuckface, Genel, Chronotherm, Letty Baskers, Mark Canosis, Morin Skell, Miss Rogers Wright, Ms. Vida Bohem, Pac-Man Scratch Card, Red Tick Seeds, Linkermeyer, Shlomo Schaff, Studying Fangirl, of course, big fan of Studying Fangirl streams as well. Hopefully she's got stuff coming up soon, and if you're not following her here, you should be. Similarly, do check out Slinkermeyer's photography on Instagram. Some incredible work. Her art is phenomenal. Also here, Torms, The Royal Flush, VNK, Virgo Pros, and Zippish Shabbat. Thank you. I appreciate all of you joining me here, particularly the regulars. Always appreciated, and this is a great turnout for a Monday show. Now we move on to the Daily Mail. As I say, our last next video is about Sasse being recorded today, says SK. Fantastic, cool. Right. Today, the final paper is Daily Mail. Daily Mail, top of the shop, they're still pushing their great golden unicorn hunt. You can win 50 grand if you can be bothered to deal with that. Main story, victims of the COVID dementia disaster revealed how shocking 50,000 cases were missed in lockdown. I'm not sure that it's shocking, it's terrible, but I don't think I'm shocked. And of course, on the right-hand side, secrets of Diana's niece's fairy tale wedding. Well, of course. Inside, as Lady Kitty Spencer's brother walks her down the aisle, first pictures from her fairy tale Italian wedding. Why was her 57-year-old father not there to watch her marry her 62-year-old husband? Hard to say, isn't it? On pages 4 and 5, more on Kitty Spencer's wedding. Picture exclusive from Society Wedding of the Year. Who gives a fuck? Devastating health cost of lockdown laid bare. Mail audit reveals 330,000 fewer hospital admissions for cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, dementia and mental illness since March 2020. Yeah, I mean, I'm always suspicious of mail audit, but there you go. Supermarket shelves will be empty again within weeks unless the pingdemic is tackled, claims John Stevens, the deputy political editor. Sarge in carrying tweet retreat is how they cover that stupid Sajid Javid tweet. On page 13, flat and triple gold taekwondo hope Jade's shock exit. Storming end to the... person in the room's just been sent gin, so she's very happy. A storming end to the heatwave. Flood havoc as months' rain falls in an hour. Rough justice, only 2% of dog thieves charged. Slap it on, chaps. Britain first makeup store for men has just opened, so could it spare Henry Deed's blushes when he popped in for a makeover? I mean, men wearing makeup, grand. I mean, it's not the 70s anymore. And surely we learnt in the 70s that men wearing makeup can look fucking amazing. Anyway, who gives a shit about that? Dominic Lawson says scientists are as adept at politicians at dodging blame for the coronavirus. Of course, he would say that. On page 19, the city fun genius, his nightclub boss lover, and a £4 million battle with his brother. He's a city genius who sparred with Boris Johnson in debates when they were students together at Oxford. Now the late Danny Truell's multi-billion fortune is at the centre of a bitter court battle between his lover and his brother. Magdalena Zelinska, a nightclub boss, is being sued by Eddie Truell over claims she obtained £4 million from Danny by undue influence before he died of a neurological condition, aged 55 in 2019. Miss Zelinska, who was left more than £1 million in Danny's will, denies the allegations, insisting they had a romantic and loving relationship for 14 years. Eddie, a city financier 59, financier 59, claims that although she had a sexual relationship with his brother, she was his paid carer from 2012 and did not live with him. Yeah, typical fucked up rich people shit, isn't it? So think about it. I'm endlessly infuriated when these papers blame everything from pigs to lockdowns for the tolls of the last 18 months and not this government's fucking disastrous handling of global pandemic. Bingo! Dr. Festi, there's no need to fucking blush over men's makeup. Christ, Friday Bentos. Blusher always goes on over the makeup. Oh, wait. Andrew Pierce is awful. We're not bothering with that. They give Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck being together a whole double-page spread. Of course they do. July 26, 2021, this is today. On this day from the Daily Mail archive in July 26, 1982, Mrs. Thatcher lived up to her nickname of the Iron Lady as far as her salary is concerned. Among the leaders of the big four Western countries, her earnings are strictly in the non-precious metal category. Even if she drew the full £36,725 to which she's entitled, she takes a voluntary cut to $27,825. It is well below French President Francois Mitterrand's $46,800 and West German Chancellor Helmut Schmidt's $65,520 plus expenses. Yeah, but here's the thing. Due to the highly corrupt nature of British politics, what prime ministers do is they sort of they do favours while they're in power for huge amounts of money when they're out of power. Also from the Daily Mail on July 26, 2000, the doomed Concorde was on fire before it even left the ground, eyewitnesses claimed last night. They told how Air France pilot fought desperately to control the supersonic jet as its left side engines trailed massive plumes of flame. All 109 passengers and crew were killed instantly. There's an accident most people have forgotten about. Happy birthday to Dame Helen Mirren, 76, and to Stormzy, 28. Imagine the Daily Mail saying happy birthday to Stormzy. They should. As the first grime artist to headline Glastonbury, he broke the news with a poster in his mum's local Oxfam shop. I fucking love Stormzy. Born on this day, Carl Jung, 1875 to 1961, the Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, pioneered the concepts of the collective unconsciousness as well as extroversion and introversion. He said, "Show me a sane man and I'll cure him for you." When he first met Sigmund Freud, he'd become a friend and rival. They reportedly talked for 13 hours. He once said, "Liverpool is the pool of life," though he has never thought to have visited the city except in his dreams. One of the best ways to visit Liverpool. And Felix Dexter, 1961 to 2013, the St. Kitts-born British comic and actor, studied to be a barrister, failed the bar finals, drowned his sorrows at a comedy club where he did an impromptu set as an actor bravado and to impress his girlfriend. Colleague Charlie Higson called him criminally underused, and Dexter himself complained that when TV bosses think of a black comedian, they always think of Lenny Henry. There's a joke. There's a really good joke. I've forgotten who tells the joke, so I'm not going to say the joke. But there is a good joke about a one-in, one-out policy in British TV. On July 26th, in 1845, Isambard Kingdom Brunel's SS Great Britain undertook her maiden voyage to New York. And in 1971, T-Rex were enjoying their second #1 with Get It On. Quote for the day, "Reality is that which, when you stop believing in it, doesn't go away." Philip K. Dick. Joke of the day. I gave up my job in shoe recycling shop. It was soul destroying. Mark Kenosis, you're right. It was Stephen K. Amos, who I've met a couple of times, and he was nice. Yeah. Stephen K. Amos says that he was waiting for Lenny Henry to die because British TV operates a one-in, one-out system. On page 25, War of the Walnut Tree. Mother faces court if she trims branches in garden, even though nuts could kill her allergic daughter. I mean, Andrew Mara said, "Too many journalists in government is dangerous." Yeah, no shit. And how many is too many? Any. 26 to pages 26 to 27. In our inspirational series, pro rugby player Ed Jackson, who broke his neck diving into a swimming pool, describes joyous reunion with his pets and the miracle moment he realised he might walk again. Well, good on him. In Inspire, Claudia Connell, she says, she was voted the world's sexiest woman. This is Claudia Connell writing this. She was voted the world's sexiest woman, dated a string of hunks, and made millions. But in a surprisingly candid interview, Kelly Brook, now 41, reveals why I'm no longer chasing marriage, babies, or a super skinny body. Well, good on you, but it's shame you're doing it in the mail. They test a load of different vegan wines. 70s style. Zandra Rhodes and Boho Brands free people are apparently the cool styles. Red Tick Seed says, "Weird, I've been voted the world's sexiest man." Source, me. The one lesson I've learned column comes from Ben Miller, who says, "Taking risks can be liberating." No shit. That column never has an interesting lesson. On pages 38 and 39, guilt-ridden over putting his mother in a home, Sean Deeney made a brave decision to look after himself. In a moving new book, he shares the bittersweet joy of freeing mum from her care home. And it just so happened to be conveniently a good topic for him to write a book about. Dr. Max is fucking awful. Fuck Dr. Max. How I Joined the Hollywood B-List. As Angelina Jolie launches a campaign to encourage women beekeepers, Sarah Barkley dons her sting-proof suit to see what the buzz is about. Oh, fuck me. They're trying to sell you top-quality chino trousers. Charcoal, sand, navy, Air Force and mint. Really, really, very ugly. Hannah Betts, in her recently started makeup column, Better Not Younger. Yeah, I think I would simply, if I were doing this makeup column, have said, don't Photoshop my byline picture so I look like a mannequin. Dr. Vesky says about the guy who took his mother, and it feels good to do that. It's good he feels able to do that, but it feels low-key shit some people who can't do that and need to rely on care homes, etc. Yeah, exactly. See you, Mark. Have a really lovely time with your ma at the garden centre, and yeah, have a good day generally. Pick of the day, Long Lost Family, 9pm ITV. In the TV reviews, Baptiste gets 5 stars. The Takeoff with Bradley and Holly only gets 2 stars. In the cartoons today, Garfield's lying down having a bit of a rest. Chloe and Co are stood up drinking and talking about men. And Fred Bassett is dreaming of a summer holiday. He gets called in, and he says to his owner, sorry, I was miles away, and she gives him his food, which is nice. Fred Bassett, as we know, is the only pure thing in the Daily Mail. In the straight to the point letters, E. Common of Hornchurch again, says, put 50 million in a dinghy and throw it overboard for all the good it will do. Alan Jacobs writes, it'd be cheaper to go and collect the migrants ourselves. I. Wilson says, the French must be laughing their berets off about Priti Patel. Keith Thompson says, life in France must be awful if people are willing to risk their lives to cross the channel in flimsy boats. Mrs. A. Ruth Comer, real name, says, Harry is the only prince who's turned into a frog. Clive Norman says, if Boris self-isolates for too long at Chequers, Carrie will want the place redecorated. Double Hornchurch, I can hardly believe it, says Dr. Festy. Totally cursed letters, fucking fascist, says Red Tixie. And the letter of the recipe of the day is strawberry cheesecake eating mess. Honestly, if you need recipe to work out how to make something like that, come on. Friar Bentos, I'd love these dicks to spend 5 minutes dealing with the French police, then write those letters. Yeah, exactly. The French police frequently extremely violent to refugees. And in concert with the far right in France as well. In the sport, Sweet 16, teenager Alice proves 100 is a success for the women at least. Gatlin has got the bungling box on the run. Lions owe video ref an apology, writes Martin Samuel. Marrow the Magnificent, South Africa 17, Lions 22. So she's human after all. Biles' face says it all. As most decorated gymnast ever puts rare foot wrong. Interesting how they're so delighted that an example of one of the most amazing athletes in the world has made a tiny error. It's almost as if they're massive fucking racists. Slinkermeyer says, I'd argue that Cue Ball William is the more froggish of the princes. Agreed. And on the back page, Bradley Silver Heartache. And go for the kill. Bullish Gatlin urge Lions to clinch series on Saturday. Who are you saying? Who is it? Do you mean Simone Biles? So she's human after all. Simone Biles, the gymnast, who's incredible. She's light years ahead of almost anyone else in the sport. Anyway, that was the Daily Mail and today's awful slice of awfulness, apart from Fred Bassett, of course. Right, for me, it's a... was there any animal stories in there? Let's say a triple negative nice plus 2. So a minus 69, 69, 67. Slinkermeyer in with the triple negative nice. Cool. Okay. C122, H122 says minus all the numbers ever. Red Tick Seed in with a minus negative nice times negative nice, the minus negative nice squared. Dr. Festy says, I would break every single bone in my body if I so much as attempted a sliver of the things Simone Biles pulls off. Critical support to her. And Dr. Festy gives the Mail a quadruple negative nice. Thank you for joining me today on the Monday show. It has been a pleasure to talk to you as ever. You've been... typically hilarious and excellent in the chat. Remember, if you want to help pick, if you want to pick, in fact, what magazine goes in the newspaper review, in the magazine special, on Friday, do chuck some coins in the newspaper fund, or just in there, just generally, if you like the show, it really does help to keep the work going. PayPal.me/Conquest of the Useless. Don't forget also the newsletter, free to subscribe to, brokenbottleboy.substack.com. And if you like it, you can always upgrade. And finally, do not forget to join the Discord and say stuff in it. Really appreciating the number of people who've joined and are in there and chatting and saying stuff. Do feel free to throw any stories you see that you think I should see or other people should see in the chat there. There's a ton of different things you can do. Anyway, there's Discord. Thank you, Friar Bantos. Good to know. Fruitless, you know the surveys about how many men reckon they could beat a Williams sister at tennis. I want to see how many think they could beat Biles at the floor. I bet it's a lot. Men are awful, and I include myself. Right. And again, this video will also be up on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you've got all the way to the end of the show, thank you for that. And remember to like and subscribe. See you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. when we will be dissecting more terrible British media. Bye-bye.